Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we're going to be discussing 10 riveting new non-fiction books that you should add to your reading list for 2023. These books cover a wide range of topics from science and history to current events and politics, so there's something for everyone. The Genome Odyssey by Dr. Ewan Ashley. This book explores the incredible breakthroughs in genomics research and how it's transforming medicine. In the Genome Odyssey, Dr. Ewan Ashley, Stanford Professor of Medicine and Genetics, brings the breakthroughs of precision medicine to vivid life through the real diagnostic journeys of his patients and the tireless efforts of his fellow doctors and scientists as they hunt to prevent, predict, and beat disease. Empire of Pain by Patrick Radden Keefe. A fascinating look into the Sackler family's involvement in the opioid crisis. In Empire of Pain, Patrick Radden Keefe narrates how the Sackler family, over 3 generations, grew from immigrant newcomers to wealthy philanthropists and ultimately, the people behind a drug that ended up killing thousands of Americans. A Promised Land by Barack Obama. A highly anticipated memoir from the former president detailing his early years in politics and his presidency. In the stirring, highly anticipated first volume of his presidential memoirs, Barack Obama tells the story of his improbable odyssey from young man searching for his identity to leader of the free world, describing in strikingly personal detail both his political education and the landmark moments of the first term of his historic presidency. The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. A collection of essays that examines the impact of humanity on the planet and its inhabitants. The Anthropocene is the current geological age in which human activity has profoundly shaped the planet and its biodiversity. In this remarkable symphony of essays adapted and expanded from his groundbreaking, critically acclaimed podcast, John Green reviews different facets of the human-centered planet, from the QWERTY keyboard to Halley's Comet, on a 5-star scale. The Codebreaker by Walter Isaacson. A biography of Jennifer Doudna, the woman who discovered the revolutionary CRISPR gene editing technology. In 2012, Nobel Prize-winning scientist Jennifer Doudna hit upon an invention that will transform the future of the human race, an easy-to-use tool that can edit DNA. Blood and Treasure by Bob Drury and Tom Clavin. An exciting account of the early years of the United States and its efforts to secure its independence. The explosive true saga of the legendary figure Daniel Boone and the bloody struggle for America's frontier by 2 best-selling authors at the height of their writing power, Bob Drury and Tom Clavin. The Cult of We by Elliot Brown and Maureen Farrell. An investigative look into the rise and fall of the company WeWork and its controversial founders. In 2001, Adam Neumann arrived in New York after 5 years as a conscript in the Israeli Navy. Just over 15 years later, he had transformed himself into the charismatic CEO of a company worth $47 billion. The vision he offered was mesmerizing, a radical reimagining of workspace for a new generation. The Premonition by Michael Lewis. A gripping story of the scientists and public health officials who saw the pandemic coming and tried to warn the world. In January 2020, as people started dying from a new virus in Wuhan, China, few really understood the magnitude of what was happening. Except, that is, a small group of scientific misfits who in their different ways had been obsessed all their lives with how viruses spread and replicated. The Daughters of Kobani by Gail Zemek Lemon. A riveting account of the all-female Kurdish military units who fought against ISIS. In 2014, northeastern Syria might have been the last place you would expect to find a revolution centered on women's rights. But that year, an all-female militia faced off against ISIS in a little town few had ever heard of, Kobani. By then, the Islamic State had swept across vast swathes of the country, taking town after town and spreading terror, as the civil war burned all around it. From that unlikely showdown in Kobani emerged a fighting force that would wage war against ISIS across northern Syria alongside the United States. Unbound by Tarana Burke. The memoir of the founder of the #MeToo movement, chronicling her own experiences with violence and her work to help survivors. From the founder and activist behind one of the largest movements of the 21st century, the Me Too movement, Tarana Burke debuts a powerful memoir about her own journey to saying those two simple yet infinitely powerful words and how she brought empathy back to an entire generation. These are just a few of the incredible nonfiction books coming out in 2023, and we can't wait to get our hands on them. Which ones are you most excited to read? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more book recommendations and reviews.